laser! It sets fire to the boat. Ah!
Come on.
Right, so if you want your fortune, what you get is a cheeky little man in the bin.
Le lift que je vais vous avancer vous épargne. Oh punaise, attendez, non, il a fait un truc de zinzin. Vous avez pas vu.
Hang on, whoa. How did you do that?
After finishing Project Orpheus, I took a trip to ride some roller coasters, and Blackpool was the main place I wanted to go. My most prominent memory of Blackpool was a tram having to stop because two blokes were fist fighting in the tracks, and just behind that was Blackpool Pleasure Beach. The heyday of the British seaside began in the 1950s, and whilst others may now travel abroad, the history stays. And that is the beauty of the Pleasure Beach. This history has created a wide range of rides, some of which are the last of their kind, all of which are stacked on top of each other, giving the park a very unique atmosphere. This project started with the phenomenon of nail houses, caused by residents who hold out against developers or refuse to sell land, causing very interesting visuals as the rest of the work happens around them. The original concept was for a particular property to now be iconic with the park as a wooden coaster tunneled below. However, through initial concepts it became more about the coaster than the house. I worked again to minimise the footprint and force creativity in building layers of rides on top of each other. And it took a few versions of different layouts, interactions and rides before a version that is reminiscent of the final layout came together. I shared screenshots of the Ferris wheel atop of the Dodgems, which warranted classic British humour, and that was perfect for this project. British humour is self-deprecating and sarcastic, usually about things we like or hold dear. The reason I mentioned the two blokes fighting earlier is to demonstrate the absurd duality of this place. I like the seaside, I like British history, but we do enjoy taking a piss here. And this extends into making more reasons for people to explore my parks. Back on the PlayStation 2, a game called Simpsons Hit and Run introduced me to the idea of hiding gags and jokes around the level. These were collectibles and fun interactive moments that would add extra humour and story to the world. And after returning to Planet Coaster 1 last year, I implemented a bunch of them into my final project. And I'm sure you can understand my excitement when you could now activate sequences and the new guest camera in the sequel. This gives more reason for people to download and explore the park for themselves, and gives me more fun opportunities to come up with creative ways to use them. Once again, this project would not have been as easy had it not been for help from the community. Farton on Sea was greatly benefited by the workshop creations of Handsome Man, Grell, and Gary Hobson, and many more, as well as bespoke creations from Captain Trash Panda, who insisted Farton on Sea needed a muscle beach, with What's-Nut masterfully designing a sign as well. The beach huts, named for livestream viewers, the shooting gallery where bad puns pulled us back to Modern Warfare trick-shotting days, and the gelato bar, which became so much more with a simple question: are you going to do an interior? And also, this project extended beyond my reach for the first time. Live streams from Tinky Cat and Cockwaddle brought the park to new audiences and first dropped audit for the French-speaking community, all of them helping to increase the awareness and share this project with more people than I could personally. Thank you for taking the time. And if there is one main point to take away from this video, it's to push your creative limits. Challenging yourself with new ideas, techniques and concepts is not only good for you and your growth, it's good for others to see. Which makes this a good time to talk about the lift hill. One of the quirks with old wooden coasters is the bowing and bending of the track segments. Unlike steel, the wood warps and shifts over time, leading to straight sections of track having extra bumps and offsets. This is rather visible on rides at Blackpool, specifically the Grand National and the Big Dipper, which I wanted to imitate. To achieve this, I used a technique that was pioneered in the RollerCoaster Tycoon series. The trick relies on the train being in contact with a chain lift at all times, be that the front car or the back car. This allowed for curves and steeper gradients to make shorter lift hills, or in this case, sections of track that could roll and offset without the need for mods. Alongside this, I was able to add in a second coaster track to act as a consistent chain lift, which completed the illusion. This is not where the involvement of RollerCoaster Tycoon ends though. Chris Sawyer was inspired by Blackpool Pleasure Beach during the development of the game, adding in rides and coaster types found at the park, and he also included a scenario known as Bumblebee Beach, set on the coast with a wooden coaster reminiscent of the Big Dipper. Even with the real park's version of Pleasure Beach getting added in the expansion, Bumblebee Beach remains one of my favourite scenarios. And wanting to pay tribute to this link, an iconic tree and shuttle loop was added to the park, along with RCT1's ride sound effects and ambience for both of the videos, which may not have even been noticed had I not mentioned it. In the production of art and media, sometimes people not noticing what you've done is just as good as if someone does and likes it, because them not noticing means you managed to make something so natural, it was like it was meant to be there. This project only exists because creative people had an idea, and other people were inspired to creatively steal it and make it their own. Alderman William George Bean, the founder of Blackpool Pleasure Beach, was inspired by Coney Island and a fairground in Earls Court. Chris Sawyer was partly inspired by Wild Mouse at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, resulting in the RollerCoaster Tycoon series, and the combination of these ideas, among an absurd collection of others, inspired me to make my own version. And that's pretty cool. And that's it. This video is over now, so go and create something. It might make someone want to do the same.